My parents died suddenly, and my older brother became my guardian, but his disturbing changes made me question everything. When I started finding evidence, he tried to have me locked away, but the truth was too powerful to hide. I was 15 when my parents abandoned me. Well, kinda. They went on a trip to Hawaii and stayed in an Airbnb, but on the second day, they both died from a carbon monoxide leak. The officers said it was a faulty heater. My parents just never woke up. My brother Jake showed up 48 hours after I got the news. He was 22 and finishing college in Oregon, studying something with computers. We'd never been close. He'd visited maybe twice since starting college, mostly staying in his room playing games when he did. But there he was, in a rental car in the driveway, pulling me into a hug that smelled like energy drinks and airport food. "I know this is hard," he said, holding my shoulders, "but I'm your family now. We'll get through this together." And honestly, I was grateful. The house felt massive and empty. Mom's coffee mug still sat in the dishwasher. Dad's reading glasses stayed on his nightstand for weeks because I couldn't bring myself to move them. Plus, anything beats a foster home. I should have known that no one is immune to the feeling of greed, not even family. Anyway, Jake filed for guardianship immediately. He moved into his old room and set up his gaming computer. Within a month, he'd sold Mom's car because we don't need two vehicles. He turned Dad's office into a streaming room for his Twitch channel. When I mentioned the therapy sessions Mom had scheduled for my anxiety, he canceled them. "Talking to strangers about our business won't help," he said. Aunt Sarah, Mom's sister, called sometimes from Florida, but she was dealing with her own grief and trusted Jake completely. "You're so lucky to have such a responsible big brother," she'd say when I tried to tell her how weird everything felt. She didn't notice I'd stopped talking at school or that my grades were slipping. I helped Jake box up our parents' things because what else could I do? I defended him when teachers asked if everything was okay at home. I even smiled when he ordered pizza for the 5th night in a row instead of attempting Mom's recipes. But every night when he wasn't looking, I still set 3 plates at dinner. 6 months later, everything came crashing down. I'd found a brochure in Mom's desk for a grief camp for teens. She must have picked it up for one of her students. She was a guidance counselor. But I wanted to go so badly it physically hurt. When I showed Jake, he barely glanced up from his game. "That's the same week as Ashley's birthday trip to Vegas," he said. Ashley was his girlfriend who was close to moving in. "Already got the tickets. But I really need this," I said. "Mom would have wanted—" "Mom's dead," Jake snapped. "Stop living in the past. You need to move on like me." I called Aunt Sarah crying. She sighed and said Jake knew what was best. That night, Jake found me looking at the brochure again, and he threw it into the fireplace. I said no, stop being dramatic. 3 days later, I couldn't take it anymore. I waited until Jake was streaming at 2 a.m. before stuffing clothes into my old soccer backpack and sneaking out. My hands shook as I ordered an Uber to the Greyhound station. The driver kept glancing at me in the mirror, probably wondering why a 15-year-old was heading to the bus station at night with a backpack. I fell asleep in the car ride, and when I woke up, I was back at my house. Turns out the driver was Jake's best friend, and he ratted on me. "Try that again, and I'm sending you to one of those troubled teen boarding schools," he said. "They'll straighten you out." A month later, a certified letter arrived from a law office downtown. Jake tried to grab it, but the mailman said it required my signature specifically. My hands shook as I signed. Jake watched me tear it open. "Your parents established instructions," the letter read. "If they failed to check in monthly, I was told to contact you directly. Please come to my office alone. Bring identification." I shoved it into my pocket and told Jake it was just spam mail, and that loser believed me instantly. I went during school the next day.